Hello and welcome to how I play my level 85 Mage. So we're gonna get into it here and talk about spells, how the multibind has changed, and that's about it really. Like we'll talk about gear slightly. I got two mages so I can show some different sets going on because they don't have the same gear. Alright, spells have changed, and the fact that we got Twin Cast as a new spell, so at 85 we got this, it splits our magic into two, allowing us to twin cast any damage spell. What does this mean? It means when I cast one nuke, it will cast it twice. Pretty cool, right? So you get double damage. And if we look, spell damage, that's a lot of my bard junk in here right now. Let me see if I got one back here. No, I don't. We'll do some run-throughs here in a minute, showing some of that. Next up, I have Rumbling Servant, which is our current level servant. This is our swarm pet, does a significant amount of damage. Then we have Jolt of the Many. This is a bolt that does damage based on the number of pets actively engaged in the target. 7 gets a 16,000 nuke, right, for 700 mana. This is a 0.6 cast time, so it's near instant, right? Boom. And really? Didn't get resisted. Where'd it go? There's no pets on it, so maybe it does 0 damage. I don't know. That's weird. Alright, so and then we have Fickle Blaze here. So Fickle Blaze will possibly give you the chance, to get a Flames of Power right here. So you get one charge of Flames of Power, which the next spell that you cast when you have that does more damage. I don't know exactly how much. It doesn't seem to really want to tell me right there, but it does more damage, so that's nice. Then we have Bolt of Molten Scoria. This is just a filler spell for if we have nothing else to do. It does 5,100 damage. We can kind of see here, if it crits, it's insane. There we go. We twin cast it. It only did 900. Like, this guy is very resistant, whatever this is. Here, let me see if I can modify him. Let's see here. Body type, level. Yeah, he's an underfoot combat dummy, I believe. Yeah, I don't know. I can't lower his resist. I thought there was an option to lower resist. But as you can see here, you know, Bolt. Okay, I guess it did a twin cast and it did 7,000 damage plus that. It's crazy. Like, the amount of damage I'm doing now is insane. And then we have Aspect of Water, which is the current level water pet, which is the pet I use. Now, I did get someone told me that he thought that the pets could backstab from the front. So I want to double check this real quick while I don't even know, right? So it's just a pet attacking from the front. He's a water pet. And I'm not seeing any back. Whoa, there was a huge hit right there. That was just a critical. I'm not seeing any backstab, so we should have saw it by now. So if we back off and we come around over here, we send him in. There we go, backstabs right there, 4,000. So the pet has to be from behind to backstab. From what I can tell, let me try it again from the front. Maybe I just missed it there. Well, you can see how much damage this pet's doing. It's like insane. I don't see any backstabs from the front. Now, maybe later on this is a thing that changes. Someone told me that in one of the comments that they can backstab from the front, but doesn't seem to be the case for me right now. So I use the water pet Now, I don't position my pet. I don't do anything. So it just, whatever happens, happens. But as you can see here, he's doing significant amount of damage. Now, I'm probably going to be switching to the air pet. Probably next level at 86. Because I want the stuns from the air pet, right? I want that extra stun damage. It's a proc. It's probably less damage, but one, it's not positional, so I'm not losing that 4,000 point backstab if I don't turn the mob, you know, every time. Mobs die fast, and sometimes they die faster, and I can turn them. So it's just like, might as well stun them so that they're stunned for the duration that they're there. So I take less damage, and two air pets. Seems like it's going to be crazy. So I'm going to be doing that next level. Now, I have these two spells. I took out, it was like Burning Body or something like that, because it wasn't stacking with my Shadow Knight's skin spell. Now, I have these, and for some reason, I can never get Ravenous Flames to land, but Torrid Skin lands. And this is just a damage shield that you can put on a tank, if you will, and it just gives him 4 charges of a really large damage shield. I believe it's like a few thousand, so it's there. I cast it. No, I'm still not 100% sold on any of these yet, so I'm still testing them out to make sure this is something I want to do. Next up, I have Traumatized Pet. Now, this is a mana regen spell, so if I cast it, it will do something. I think it takes like some kind of mana, takes something from the pet. Later on, we get one that damages the pet by like a significant amount, but I have so much healing going on right now that I don't think it really matters. Let's see here. I don't see it. There is a buff. It puts a buff on you for mana regen. I don't know where it's at. Maybe it didn't land on me because of something else. But yeah, so it gives you a mana mana flow is what it's called. I don't know. It's kind of nice. I have it in my multi-bind right now, and just to test it out. So I'm always getting mana back as much as I can. But we'll see. Then I have the current level Mass Ethereal Transvergence, which is the current level Mod Rod, which is right here. So this one does 1,200 hit points for 976 mana. Not too bad of a ratio right there, honestly. So I do that as much as I can. Call a Hero. At 100, I'll replace this with Group Call the Hero. But I still keep it here just in case, because like I don't have Group Call a Hero, so I have to call like one. So I kind of like do Call Hero on the AA, and then I switch the other mage, do her AA, then I switch back and I do his spell, and I can get the whole group here really quick. But it's, it's still valuable. And then I have Ethereal Symbiosis, which is our other mana regeneration spell here. It is, where is that? I think it's this one right here, this 10-minute duration spell. So you got to kind of recast that one quite a bit, but it's more mana regen. Currently we are at 916 mana regen. With Elemental Form, I have the illusion off, but you can see here this Elemental Form gives us quite a bit of regen and all that other stuff. You can see right here. So let's see, 2. We're getting a new one at 96, so it's a very useful AA, I'll tell you that. What else? So we do Aura. So the current level Aura is Arcane Disselect. This is a buff we put on the pet. Let's actually do that real quick because I think it wore off. Yeah, I don't see it on my pet at the moment, but we'll get this. See what we can get. Yeah, improves your pet damage. Ooh, yeah, I don't see the description there, buddy. Where is it? I don't even see it on my pet. There it is, right there. All right, so boost your pet damage by 15%. So it's pretty nice if you ask me. Now, the previous version like did all the pets, so the pets I guess don't get that anymore, but this pet gets it, 15% extra damage. Very nice. Now, you can see here that I think it overwrote the mammoth spell. Let me see if I did the same over here, right? Oh, it looks like Arcane Dislike goes on all the pets. All right, so it still does that. That's cool. That is very nice. So all the pets get the benefit from that, even though the description does not say that. So that's good. Damage shield, I haven't cast that in a while since I've been getting external damage shield. I don't know what the current level one is. And then we have Ice Flame Efflux. This is just the current Ice Flame line of spells. I keep this on my pet at all times. I turn Taunt on and off depending on what I'm doing. When I switch to air pets, I will have Taunt on 100% to reduce any damage that my Shadow Knight would take when I pull mobs, and kind of just let the pets do their thing, right? And then we have the current level Burnout, which is Burnout 8. So it's just another pet haste buff. I think he's already got it on him, right? Yeah, he's already got it on him. So it increases damage, attack speed, attack rating, armor class, and strength. Just all around great buff. Should always have it on your pet. Alright, that is all the spells I typically cast. So for my multibind, I have quite a little lineup here. So I have Host of Elements, followed by Twin Cast, followed by Rumbling Servant, followed by Jolt of the Many, followed by Fickle Blaze, followed by Molten Scoria. Right, and then I have Force of Elements, which is a new AA I believe we just got recently. I think at 85, could have been earlier. Just does 1500 damage, right? So it's a quick little extra nuke we can throw on there. 20-second reuse. Then we have Companion Shielding, which will just put a defensive buff on the pet. Servant of Row, which just summons a large elemental, which will nuke for 5100. And then Companion's Necessity, which summons an elemental that does area taunt, which is kind of cool, right? It kind of like lowers some of the situational damage that I'm taking, but it works pretty well. Then we have turn summon, so if we happen to find a summoned mob, it'll do 32,000 damage, or 4,000 damage and a chance to do 32,000 damage. Sorry about that. And then we have Traumatized Pet in there just as a possible way to get mana back. I'm not 100% sold on it yet, but we'll see how that goes. Later on, we get like a self buff that does it, and then we get an AA that does it. So we'll have to see how those go later on. That's all the spells. That's the multibind. Everything else here is the same. Everything here is the same. We almost have all our abilities to start doing some burn talk and talking about burns, but right now you just really just do like Heart of the Skyfire, Silent Casting, Spire of the Elements, and whatever else you want to click during that. I put a lot of that stuff in my multibind because I'm lazy, but it just depends on how you're playing your mage. I play mine different. Let's see, all that's the same. I do use Thermitage's Unity as much as possible. This gives us Chaotic Boon, Hulking Bodyguard, Shield the Void, and Empyrean Guardian at all times, which you see there. We got a bunch of these buffs down here. Chaotic Boon allows you to, your damage spells to heal the pets. So think about that, right? I don't have to heal my pet anymore because I'm going to be doing damage. It's going to heal the pet. Hulking Bodyguard summons the Earth Elemental to protect me. And Imperial Guardian gives me mana regeneration, hit point regeneration. So very nice to have. Let's see here. That's pretty much everything. I don't think there's anything changed. I don't think so. So gear wise, let's talk about gear, right? So this character has Paragon gear, so you get this from doing quests and Seas of Destruction. This character, which is my other mage, she has House of Thule tier 1. So you can see 123 AC, 100 or 1115 mana, right? It's better. House of Thule tier 1 is better gear, right? Let's not make any jokes about it. Well, I guess if we didn't have this AUG in there, maybe. I don't know why it's not. There we go. It's not hiding whatever the AUG is here. But this AUG is a pretty nice AUG, right? It's 100, so it could be the difference there. I don't know. But for all intents and purposes, the gear is equivalent between Paragon and House of Thule tier 1. Now, the problem you run into is if you stay with the Paragon gear is that you want to go to the tier 2 gear, which requires a token plus the tier 1 item. You can buy a token that will represent the item here for 10,000 platinum. I think in an earlier video I said 20,000 platinum, but it is 10,000 platinum. So you can get to the tier 2 without having tier 1. But it's, it is what it is. Now, ideally you want to, whatever expansion you're in, you want to have, the best gear you can for that. So this gear, as you can see, has got no focus item. It's got nothing. This one it's got 2 different focus items. It's got an increased duration on Ruinous Servant, which, why do it must be like the level 90 version? I don't know. That's weird, because that Rumbling Servant is the level 85. Let's see, there you go. I don't know if it works for my pet, but let me check, see if the last one was called Ruinous, because that could be funny. No, it's not. So you don't get a new one until 85, so that focus doesn't even work. But if you click your robe, you get a pet buff, right? So that's pretty nice. So there's a huge difference there. Now, I believe if we look at the Paragon arms, they do have a fire based for 5 to 60%, whereas these ones are 60%. So it just depends on what you can get. I recommend going and leveling all this gear up through the different levels and whatnot. Now, you're also going to want to probably be using a two-hander at this point, if you have one. Now, I believe this one here, it doesn't work the way some of the higher level ones do, but as you can see here, Sympathetic Alleviating Burst has a chance to return mana to you every time you cast a spell. So every time I cast a spell, I have a chance to get mana back. Now, later on, these versions become Sympathetic Strike a Disease or whatever the hell it is at that point, right? And it will do the damage instead of the Alleviating Burst. So you kind of want to focus on the two-handers going forward at this point because they're going to be the best. Now, if you're having mana issues, you're going to want to get a Sword and Shield, or a Dagger and Shield, or a Staff and Shield, whatever that is, a wand, whatever the one-hander you can get is, because they will have more mana intensive kind of focuses, and the shields usually have a lot of mana regen, right? Like I think my Shaman here has the shield, right? So 4 mana regen on the shield, and you can get a type 7 for the shield that usually has mana regen. Like, let me look here. On my Necromancer, right? So he has a shield, and in his, I think it's this one, right? Yeah, right here. So this is the secondary shield AUG that you can get later on. This one's from, I guess, let's say Terra Lucklin, I think. You get 13 mana regen out of that. So you can really buff up your shield with some extra mana regen and stuff like that if you're having mana problems. And then you pair that with a one-hander. Like, I think this one is this is the high level version of it, right? The level 120 dagger, but this one has Alleviating Burst for both your mana and your normal proc. So if you're casting, you're going to get this and whatnot. So if you're having mana issues, you're going to want to go with that. Also, if you're a root rotting necro, you're going to want to go with this one too, because otherwise you will proc a damage spell which will break your roots. So something to keep in mind there. Even though this is a mage video. So gear-wise, this is kind of the direction we're going. I haven't really updated a lot of his gear beyond the TBM base gear. Now, as we get more House of Thule gear, I'll definitely start distributing that out to them. Each of my boxes are kind of, you know, scraping at the bottom, right? I focus a lot of my energy on the Shadow Knight, and the boxes are kind of at the end of that, right? So you're just going to want to make sure you have the best focuses, which for the Mage are the arms and can't remember the other one. Arms and helmet for sure. The robe. Here, let's go over here. The robe has some of the better stuff later on, but it does not look like it does not look like the robe works with the level 85 one. So there is. I'm assuming this is level 80. I don't know, level 90 version of it. So yeah. It's a little disappointing there, but it is what it is. But yeah, that's how I play my level 85 Mage. I don't feel like I'm doing anything wrong. I feel like he's pretty strong. The amount of damage these guys do is crazy. In the next House of Thule video, I'll have or not the next House of Thule, the next Hobbs and Friends video, I'll have the damage parser going, and as we're doing some stuff, we can see the damage that everybody's doing. And we'll do it there in its own little bubble, if you will, to kind of show some of that damage without as a unit, because like individually they're not as strong as the whole, right? Like it's crazy the way this group synergizes. But yeah. So if there's any questions or comments, please leave them down below, and we'll talk about it. Thank you very much for watching. Please have a fantastic day.